I think we're ready to start session one. It was a pleasure to see all the ministerial people here this morning. That's excellent, and I'm pleased they came. It was a bit of a difference for me because I've never had ministerial people there before. Now we come down to space segment, GEO, MEO, LEO, and I've put also down there HAPS, High Altitude Platform Systems. So if anybody wants to say something about that. So where are we now? Discuss downstream 5-year business aspirations. Now these two sessions are now as the Americans would say, the meat and potatoes, right? So that's where we are, and we'll start on this. And Selman Demirel from Türksat, please. Over to you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Dear audience, welcome to our session. I am Selman Demirel. I am in charge of the satellite programs in Türksat. Today I would like to introduce you our first national communication satellite, Türksat 6A. Here is the, as you know, in today morning there was some detailed information about you for the Türksat operations. As you know, we are currently 3 satellites in orbits, 2 of them in 40-degree east orbital locations, and 1 of them is 50-degree east orbital location with Türksat 4B. And additional to these satellites, we are also improving our flow in the space. So currently, our national satellite project, we are already started in the 2014, end of 2014. So what was the objectives of this project? I would like to give you some details about that. One of the basic objectives is that to industrial participations with the universities and the sector. It is very critical because, as you know, currently, when we first started this project, there was not such a sector in Turkey. So in the first aim was to create a great cooperation with industry and the universities. And also, as you know, currently one of the hot topics in Turkey is that to reduce the dependence of the foreign countries. With this satellite project, until this satellite project, we are procure our satellite as a turnkey project from the foreign countries. But one of the objectives of this satellite is to reduce these dependencies and to, as much as possible, to make some R&D project and improve our own equipments. And of course, I would like to emphasize strongly that this satellite will be first national communication satellite platform. What is platform? Platform means that this platform will not be used only for communication purpose, communication satellite purpose, but on the other hand, you can use this satellite platform for different payloads, depends on the missions. You can use different payloads. You can use for broadcasting or you can use for military purpose. So it depends on your missions. And also, as defined today morning with our ministers, one of the aim is that to be one of the countries which have a geosatellite production capabilities. Currently, there are major companies which has this technology, and they are improving their technology. But currently, we would like to also be one of the countries inside this technology producers. How I would like to give some brief information about that, how we start this project. As you know, previously there was some other national project, like, for example, Göktürk, Rasat, and other projects. That was the project only related with the LEO satellites. low orbital missions. But there was this satellite was mostly about the observation satellite. So when we start, we create a project together with our ministers, Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, together with the Türksat, and at to end of the 15 December 2014, the contract is signed with attendance of our president, Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Our government support us. We are very happy about that. In all the minister level, our Minister of Infrastructure, Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, they are really support us. So one of the success criteria of this project is that support from the government side. As I told you that currently Minister of Transport and Infrastructure of Turkey and Türksat is the customer currently. TÜBİTAK Uzay, we can say TÜBİTAK Space is the prime contractor, and TUSAŞ, Aselsan and SİTEK are located as we can say subcontractor. Currently Türksat is a end user, and we are mostly in technical part of the project. We give support not only in the financial point of view, but also we are supporting as a technical point of view. Currently we have 15 technical experts we are following and give support as a technical point of view. So what is the project organization? I would like to give some brief information about that. The TÜBİTAK Space, as I told you, may manage the project, system development, platform systems, and the ground systems also as well made by the TÜBİTAK Space. TUSAŞ, TAI, we can say, generally in charge of the structural, thermal subsystem harness, and some the propulsion system especially, and also as defined today that USET, where the satellite will be produced, is in the base of the TUSAŞ area. And also Aselsan is mainly focused on the payload side, the telecommunication system side, especially for the payload in charge of KU and X-band. And SİTEK is also in charge of telemetry and telecommand ranging system. I would like to also give some information about the technology transfer programs. As I told you that when we start this project, one of the missing part was the manpower issue. So if you start the project, well, the main critical issue is that if you have a human source, it is the basic starting points. So in that perspective, Türksat is not only participate this project, but on the other hand, we would like to also educate our manpowers. With this purpose, 16 Turkish engineers take some trainers in France with Türksat 3A project, and after that, with Türksat 4A, 4B project in Japan, we have also 15 engineers directly participate the production of the satellites. So one of the aim was that to gain really the experience about these technologies. And after when our experts turn back to Turkey, then they start to work together with these project participants in the project. So currently in the project location, these 16 experts are working on site. I would like to also introduce the model philosophy. When you create a satellite project, you should follow some standards, which means that there is a standards definitions. For example, we are following the ESA standards, European Space Agency standards. With these standards, with the definition, you have to follow some steps. You have to qualify your product. If you cannot make this qualification, it will not be, you cannot perform real test and real design. Because the main critical issue in the satellite sector is that when you launch the satellite, this satellite must work probably 15 years, at least 15 years. You cannot bring back to Earth the satellite. That's why you have to test, you have to make all analyses detailedly. That's why this 4 steps is already created. Currently, one of the first step is a structural and thermal model. Generally, you design your structure and you test it and you qualify it. And we finished this model and now we are in the engineering model phase. The general feature of the Türksat 6A is we will launch is 40 degree east. Currently we have 20 KU transponder and X-band transponders. And we have different launch opportunities. As I told you that the Space System Integration Test Center, Satellite Türksat 6A will be produced here. We set up this center with the Presidency of Defense Industries and Türksat together. I'd like to give some information about that. What is the features of this? Currently, we can set up the satellite up to 3.5 dry mass satellite with this size. So currently the design is ongoing. I can say that this week we are finishing the CDR phase, critic design phase, and we are finishing. We plan to finish the satellite at 2020, and we would like to plan satellite launch at 2021. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you, Selman. Thank you. Sorry to push you, but there you go.
Yeah.
May I present this to you as a memento of today's occasion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.